I got into the Smash scene around 2 years ago, because at that time I wasn't really doing anything. I didn't have any like friends outside of school, and I was just like at the house all day. I was bored. I was a bum. I was like, man, this kind of sucks. Like, let me get out here. Let me like get out the house. Let me see what's like going on.
I've been into esports since I was like 13. And it's kind of surreal hosting these now, but I've been trying to compete in video games since, again, middle school. It's been pretty fun.
I first entered tournaments when I heard like the Smash local scene back when I was in my freshman year. But then I really started joining more tournaments when I kind of became more like involved in the community. You know, started helping show up the tournaments earlier, set up the place and whatnot.
I started playing Smash on my own, just kind of discovered the game, and you know, Smash Ultimate is like, you know, the main thing for me. Like, I never played many fighting games originally, and it's really funny. Like I was like, obviously, you know, started out like everyone else, you know, really ass at Smash, but it got like I had this like real interest with the game. There was something about the way, you know, just the mechanics of the game work and everything. I was literally hanging out with my family one day, just chilling at the rec center, and I saw a poster on the bulletin board that said like, you know, Smash Bros tournament, like, you know, sign up on like this Saturday 6 p.m. or whatever, and I just thought like in my region or like my little area, I thought there's no way there was anybody who could smoke me. I thought I was the shit, and like, you know, I signed up and everything, like went to my first local bracket, and I got my shit rocked.
When Smash 4 came out for the 3DS and the Wii U, I was a little bit older at the time. I was in like middle school, so I was like, all right, I think I'm good enough. I think I put my due diligence in. Let me go see if there's a tournament around. So I went to Swanee, and there was a local happening, and I met one of the best players in the world at the time, Fatality Falcon, and as a little kid, I was like, oh my gosh, that's him. That's a guy I see on YouTube, on the live streams, at the big tournaments. Oh my gosh, this is crazy.
I saw these videos from a YouTube channel called The Story Esports talking about all these pro players playing Smash Bros, a game that I already liked. I was like, oh, there's a competitive scene for this? I want to play. I think I'm good. And I would go to a tournament, and I got destroyed, which is the universal experience. Everybody thinks they're super great, and they go to a tournament. Not yet.
Video gaming, apart from a lot of people might think, is actually a very good hobby and thing to get into. A lot of people think it's addictive and a waste of time and all that stuff, but I mean, it's 2026. Like, we in the time frame where like you should know by now that you could definitely have a career in playing video games, being on the internet, doing stuff like that.
I think a lot of people do kind of it gets looked at with a stink a lot of times. You know, people. Because there is an air of it, you know, the stereotype is like, it's like the gamer who doesn't have a real job who like does this. But the majority of times you go to an event like this, it's people, you know, there's a lot of people who are like me. They have like a full-time job, you know, they have like other passions outside of Smash, you know. But this is like a thing that they do, and they've made a lot of friends through this. We were talking about it in the carpool, actually. There's a lot of like, I've met people who like, I'm gonna go to these guys' like wedding, and I met them playing a children's party game, you know? So it's like, part of it is like, it's good to have an outlet to compete if like you have a competitive side of you and like sports isn't your thing. But also it's just like a great third space for people.
I think so to an extent, because there are definitely ragers. Like the people, the things you hear about with like esports and Smash, they do exist. But it's such a small portion of the people that actually play the game and care about the community that it's either negligible or you know the guy that did it and you know that like it's a one-time thing. Because like you're competing, even though it's video games, it's real competition. Everybody's trying their hardest to win.
The bad rep technically comes from good and bad places, because there have been some very, very bad apples in the Smash community, and there's obviously people that get banned, just as in they do in any other sport. But for something that is a video game, some people do take it way, way too far. And so because it is a game, people can take that one negative stigma and explode it to any size they need it to be to fit their argument. But for every bad apple you get, there is 20, 30, 40 amazing, amazing individuals that really, really fight their hardest to make sure that these tournaments keep running and that people are safe and that they feel loved and welcomed and appreciated.
When I'm playing friendlies with the guys, you know, first I come there, I'm like, yo, I'm happy to see you guys, you know, hey, what's up, you know, dab them up, you know, all love, you know, give me a hug, brother, you know. We play matches before the tournament starts. We're joking, we're chilling, we're kicking it, we're having a good time. It's like basically like a hangout session. Once the tournament starts, once the ring bells, once we inside that ring and ding, 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 we hear that bell, it's time to fight. You ask me how I feel about these guys, when I'm playing friendlies, I would say these people are amazing. These people are my friends. They are so good. They impress me. I'm so like proud of these people. But as soon as bracket starts and we're inside that ring, all that goes away. I say to myself, these people are nasty, but I'm nastier. These people are killers, but I'm a bigger killer than them. These people are good, but I'm better than these people. I'm not going to lose to these people. There is no, all that friendly demeanor, all the optimism, all that smiling goes away as soon as that bell rings, because we here to win.
Most people play against, their family or their siblings, or they'll play at church or some third location, and they'll play well, and they'll be like, yeah, I'm the top dog, no one can step to me, it's light work. And online perpetuates that, because when you're in your own little bubble and you only see wins, you only see results, you only see bang, 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 I am the best, whoa, no one can beat me, you really let it get to your head, you let that ego inflate. So that's why community participation is so important, because when you actually show up to a tournament, you recognize the depth of skill, the depth of intelligence behind these players, because when you're just going online and you're just participating there, you can be the top dog a lot of the time. When you show up to a local scene, you really see, wow, how do I actually compare to these players? How is my genuine mentality, my genuine game plan actually hold up when my opponent wants it just as bad as I do, and I know they want it just as bad as I do because they actually showed up in person.
I would say it gets pretty competitive. It's really that every person is what gets competitive. I've definitely fought a ton of opponents where it's like I've beaten them and like there's just like nothing more than like okay, I'll report the set, and then at the same time, I mean, even I've gotten angry, slap my knee or something after a bad hit or whatever.
In high school, I was unbeatable. I think I only ever lost to one player ever in high school. In high school, there was no tension to get better at the game because I was already better than everyone. But now I have people who were better than me, and also people who weren't as good as me, but they were trying to become better than me. So I had to start actually practicing matchups as opposed to, okay, it's practice. Okay, I'm just gonna play against my friend and I'm just gonna beat him because that's what practice was to me back then. Now practice is, okay, he beat me. Why did he beat me? What can I do to prevent that from happening again? How can I practice this? How can I get more consistent? And I'd say the main difference between high school and this kind of like community esports is just that I need to try harder.
Technically speaking, for most people that come to tournaments, there is no practice. A lot of people really just show up day of and they think that they're gonna win. They show up that same day and they say, well, I've been good before, I know what I can do, yeah, it's gonna be pretty easy. And of course, they lose. If you don't practice in any sport, in any talent, in any trait, in anything in life, if you don't practice, you're not gonna grow, first of all, but you also might start declining in some points, because if people around you are improving and you're staying stagnant, you are going down. You are becoming a worse player. You are going into old habits. If you're not practicing, if you're not doing things intentionally, you're gonna become a worse player. So when you show up to a tournament day of and you haven't played 2 weeks in a row, you haven't thought about the game for 2 weeks, you haven't grown yourself in any way, shape, and form in the game or out of it, you're gonna be worse. So most people either have all the skills built up and then they ignore the behind the scenes stuff that no one wants to deal with, or they haven't actually put the time in and practiced, and then they want to just say, oh, well, yeah, I watched my videos back. Yeah, I was on YouTube and I learned some new stuff. Yeah, I read a new book. Yeah, I think I'm the best. But you're not actually, because you haven't completed yourself. You haven't built up the technical skill and the mental fortitude behind it. There's a point where talent has to meet strategy, because you can be gifted at something, but if you're gifted and you stop trying, you are now just above average. You're not gonna become great. You're not gonna develop yourself further. You're not gonna become bigger and better. You're just good. And if you're just good, there's people that will always, always want it more than you.